Welcome back to the channel everyone. So in this video I'll show you guys the step-by-step process of applying for a graduate visa or a post-study work PSW visa. I have my laptop ready and I'll show you a screen recording of all the steps. If you're applying now, you can do it with me. Before we get into the video, make sure your university has let Home Office know that you've successfully completed your course. You must have got an email from your uni saying that they've let the Home Office know and you can apply for the graduate visa. If you haven't got the confirmation now, do not apply. Check with your uni, contact them and ask if they have let UKVI know, and only after you get the confirmation apply. If they haven't let UKVI know and you apply now, there can be delays with your application. Next is what all are the documents that you need for the application now. You need your biometric residence permit BRP card, your passport, an iPhone or an NFC enabled Android phone which you need to use to scan your BRP. That's a step in the application process. I'll show you that as well. You need an email and a phone number which you'll use to get verification codes and emails. Finally, a payment method to pay your application fee and your IHS fee. So let's start the application. So get started by typing in your browser graduate visa, the gov.uk website that you see. Click on that, and in this page you can see all the details related to graduate visa, the eligibility, when are you eligible to apply for the graduate visa, and how long you can stay in the UK. If it's undergrad or a post-grad course, it's a 2 years visa that you'll be getting, and if it's a PhD, it will be 3 years. How to apply and when to apply. You must apply before your student visa expires, and how much it costs, application fee and the health surcharge fee. So let's start the application. Under how to apply, you can see you must apply online. Click on apply online. So this page gives more details about the application. If you go down, you can see start now. So click on that. So here they'll ask some basic questions. Where are you planning to live? So here I'm going to put England, Scotland, Wales or Northern Ireland. Continue. And do you have a current EU, EEA or Swiss passport? I'm going to put no, because we are going to use a BRP card. And do you have a valid UK biometric residence permit BRP card? Yes. Continue. And is your name on your biometric residence permit the same as on your current passport? Yes, it will be. Check you can use the app. So this is where, as I was telling you earlier, iPhone or an Android phone with NFC, an iPhone 7 or newer models. Continue with that. Here they'll ask you to create a UKVI account. So you need all these details to create the account: date of birth, passport, email address and a phone number. So you click on create account. Who are you creating this account for? If you're doing it for yourself, click me, and if you're doing it for your friend, or if you have a children and you're doing it for them, click someone else. I think basically if you click someone else, you will be asked to add another email which will have access to this account as well. So in this case I'm gonna click me. And what is your country of nationality? Your nationality. Enter your BRP details. So first you need to enter your BRP number, which will be on the top right corner of your BRP. So put in that number, and then the expiry date, which will be valid until on the BRP card. So what's your date of birth? Put in your date of birth. Give your name, given names and surname. What email address do you want to use to receive security codes? Give a valid email address now and use the same email address throughout the process. This is the email address where you'll be getting your decision letter after it's successful at the end. So for now, give an email address and you'll receive a code, and you have to verify the email address. Put in the code and continue. And the next step is for phone number. Here again, give a phone number. You'll get a verification code to verify as well. Do you want to add a helper to your account? This could be a friend, family member or an advisor, immigration advisor. So again, if you want to add someone, you can add their email and they'll have access to your UKVI account and they'll be able to help you with the process. So here I'm going to click no. And before you submit everything, check all the details: your document number, expiry date, name, date of birth, your email and phone number. You've already verified that, so you can't change that. So everything else, make sure you check the details and click on create account to create an account, and it'll say UKVI account created, and then they'll ask you to sign in again. Click on sign in. What identity document did you use when you created your account? So here I used biometric residence card or permit. Click on that and continue. What is your biometric residence card or permit number? Give your BRP number here. What's your date of birth? Continue. And how do you want to receive your security code? I'm gonna use the phone here to get the verification code and put in the 6-digit security code. Here finally you'll be signed into your UKVI account, and here you can see the graduate your application has not been started. You can start your application here. So I'll click on start application, and you can see that these are all the steps that we have to complete in order to submit our application, and all these steps has to be completed in order. As you can see that we have to confirm your identity first, and then only we can move to immigration advisor details. So let's start the application. First click on confirm your identity. So this is the step. We need to use the NFC on our iPhone or an Android phone. Basically scan the BRP card. I'll show you how to do that as well. So here continue. Do you have access to one of these phones? Yes, and continue. And they're asking us to continue on the app. So I'll show you this process on my phone now. So you basically go to App Store or Google Play Store and type in UK Immigration ID Check, just like I'm doing it now. The second app on my phone screen, UK Immigration ID Check. Click on that and open. As you can see, the developer would be Home Office, so make sure you're downloading that app with this logo. So I'll open it, and as you can see, this is how the initial screen looks. UK Immigration ID Check. Use this app to prove your identity when you make an application. So I'll click continue. How you are connecting the app. There are two ways to do that: QR code and connection code. So basically, if it's a connection code, if you click on the connection code in the app, you'll get a code which comprises of letters. You type in the same letters on the application page on your laptop, and then click connect, and you'll be automatically connected to the app on your phone, and you can continue the that step there. Or the other way is to click on the QR code. It'll access the camera on your phone, and you basically scan the QR code which is on your laptop screen, and it'll connect automatically. And then again it'll ask you to confirm through a verification code through your phone or your email. So here I am using the phone, and I'll put in the code and continue, and it'll connect, and it'll say app connected. Continue again, and it'll show you a privacy notice. Click OK, and then start using the app. It'll give you some instruction before you start using it. You're now ready to use the app. You'll need your identity document with you. Okay, take an image of your document, check your documents information. This is where the NFC comes into play. Then scan your face, and finally you need to take a picture. Ask someone to take a picture of you. We'll go one by one. Click on start. Which document will you use? I'm gonna use biometric residence permit here. Using biometric residence permit, so basically the first thing you have to do is you need to click a picture of both the sides of your BRP card, and first they're gonna ask to take the picture of the side where there will be codes as shown on the screen now with a symbol and letters and numbers. Take an image of your card. So make sure the code is showing. Card is on a flat surface, and you're in a well-lit room, and there's no glare on the card. So continue and take a picture. So as soon as the card is in the rectangle thing on your phone screen, it'll automatically identify the card and take the picture automatically. You don't have to click anything, but make sure it's on a flat surface and well-lit room. Make sure the details on the card are seen properly. So once it detects the card, it'll the rectangle will turn green, and it'll automatically capture, and you'll be taken to the next step. It'll say image taken. Now take an image of the other side of your card. Click OK and take the other side. Continue. Image taken. OK. This is the step where you need to keep the phone on top of the card and scan the chip. To scan your BRP card, keep your BRP on a flat surface, and make sure you remove any back cover or anything that you might have on your phone. This is not necessary, but if for some reason the scanning fails, take off your back cover and try again. Place the BRP on a flat surface and keep your phone on top as shown in the app. You need to basically keep the top of your phone in the middle part of the BRP card, and it'll automatically start scanning. Make sure you are not moving your phone or the card. It'll basically take around 10 seconds to scan the chip, and once it's successfully completed, it'll say access chip completed. click OK, and that step is complete. Now moving on to scanning your face. So you need to hold your phone on the selfie mode. There'll be some colored lights coming on the screen and it's basically scanning your face. So click scan face when you're ready. When you click scan face, it'll say get ready, and those lights will come up and it'll say successfully scanned. And the next step is where you take your photo, ask someone to take your photo. So click continue and they'll give you some instructions on the app. Plain light background, there shouldn't be any object in the background. Your head and shoulders must be visible, and even lighting and no shadow as shown in the app. So click use camera and take a good picture. So you need to keep in mind that this picture can be retaken, and this is the picture that will be used in your new BRP card. So finally, when you take a picture, they'll ask you to check your photo and ask if this photo can be used. So you click on use this photo. The next step is where you need to check all the information that you've given, and before submitting the information, make sure it's all correct, and then click on submit information. After that, it'll say identity details submitted, and what happens next. So basically the usage of app is complete. Now you can go back to the application screen on your laptop and continue the process, or you can actually continue here if you want to do that on your phone itself. But here I'm gonna click on disconnect and go back to the application on the laptop. As you can see, once you've completed confirm your identity, it will say completed, and the next step in the application process will be open for you to complete. So the next is immigration advisor details. So click on that. Are you using an immigration advisor based in the UK? Most probably will not be using any immigration advisor, and you don't really need an immigration advisor, so I'm gonna click no. And if you are using someone, click on yes. And basically that's the only question that's in that step. So they're asking you to check your answers and click on continue, and that step is complete. Then the next step, contact preferences. Which email address can be used to contact you? The decision letter and all the application details will be sent to this email. So they're basically asking which email do you want the decision letter sent to. So here it'll have an option to click on the same email that we've previously given, or you can choose a different email. You can put another email in, but mostly we'll be using the first email which we already gave. So I'll click on that and continue. And which phone number can we use to contact you? Again, click on the same phone number that you've given and continue. What is your address in the UK? So the current address that you're living in now. So you can basically give in your postcode, and you can find all the addresses that's coming on the drop down menu. But if it's not showing on the drop down menu, you can enter manually. So here I'm gonna enter the address manually. And again, before submitting, before continuing, check your answers, and that step is complete. Moving on to the next one. Other names and nationalities through marriage or any other circumstances. Did you have a previous name and did you change to your new name? So you have to give them all the details regarding that as well. Here I'm gonna put no and continue. Your identity card. Do you have a valid national identity card? So basically you can put the details of your passport, click yes and give the details of your passport. So when you click on yes, a drop down will come to give the details of your identity card. Give your national identity card number, so your passport number, then issuing authority. It'll be a place of issue on your passport, so you can give that city name or even the country name, whatever place of issue is on your passport, give that. And issue date, when was the identity document issued, and the expiry date that's on your passport. Click continue. Your other nationalities, do you hold dual citizenship? If so, click yes and give the details of that as well. Here I'm gonna click no and continue. Again, check your answers, make sure it's all correct and click continue. That step is complete as well. Now preparing your application. So this is where your personal details like your address and all the personal details and everything need to be put in. So let's move on to the first step, your location. Where are you applying from? Which country are you in now? You should be in the UK when you're applying for a graduate visa. So put in United Kingdom and check your answers and continue again, and that step will be complete. Moving on to the next step, eligibility. Do you have a student visa? You have to have a student visa when you apply for the graduate visa. So yes and continue. When did you first arrive in the UK on your current visa? When was the date that you first came into the UK using your student visa? If you don't remember, you can always check your passport. When did you get your immigration stamp? What date was it on the immigration stamp? That's when you came to the UK first in the student visa. So put in that and continue. Do you have a certificate of acceptance of studies CAS number? Yes, your CAS is when your university approves of you coming here, they'll send you that. You must have had one when you first came. Click yes and continue. What is your CAS number? You need to put in your CAS number and continue. Other home office applications. Do you currently have an application with the home office for leave to remain for which you have not received a decision? So basically, if you have any other application that you're yet to receive decision, it will be overruled by this application. So if you already have one and you apply with this application will be the one that will be considered. So any previous one would not hold. So here I'll click no because I don't have any other applications, and continue. Did you study an eligible course? Basically, if you've studied an undergraduate, a postgraduate, or a PhD course which is eligible for a graduate visa, yes you did, so click yes. Did you study at a higher education provider with a track record of compliance? If you're unsure, you can check if your college or uni is in the list. Click on the register of student sponsors list, click on that and check if your uni is in. It will be in. If you click on that link and if you view online, your uni might not be on the list, but if you download the document which is available and check, you'll find your uni in that. For example, my uni was University of Leicester, and if I view online this document, my University of Leicester will not be in the page, but if I download the document, it will be there. So if you didn't find your uni in the view online thing, don't worry, don't stress too much. It'll be there when you download and see. So click yes and continue. Have you successfully completed your course? You must have received notification that you passed your course. Yes. Have you previously been granted permission under the doctorate extension scheme? So this is for basically for students who've completed a PhD course and under this extension scheme got 12-month extension to remain in the UK. So most people would have had a no, and if you did, click yes and continue, but here I'm gonna put no. Have you received money from a financial sponsor, government or international scholarship agency? If you did, click yes and continue with that. But here in this case I'm gonna put no, and most people I don't think will put yes here. So click no and continue. And again, check everything if it's all correct and then continue, and that step will be completed. Personal details, your sex, male, female or other, continue. Your country of birth. I'm gonna skip through all this very fast because it's all your personal details. You can do it on your own. Passport details, again the same step that we did earlier. Place of issue, issue date, expiry date, etc. Your home address. Do you live at this address? This is the address that you gave in the beginning. This will be used to send your BRP card which you'll be getting in the future. So do you live at this address? Yes. When did you start living at this address? When did you move into this address? Give details of that. About your home, do you own it, rent it, or other? If you click other, you need to give a brief description of who owns the house and what's the deal with your living now. Here I'm gonna put rent it, and you have to give the name of the company, the agency or the landlord through which you are renting it, their telephone number, address and everything. After that, when did you start living at this address? Again, when did you move into this place? Do you still live at this address? Once you give all the details of the landlord or the agency, click continue, and they'll ask about previous address history in the past 2 years. Where all have you lived in the past 2 years? They'll ask if it's a UK address. Even if it's a non-UK address, you need to put in because it's in the last 2 years. So first here I'm gonna put a UK address. Click yes. I'm gonna click yes and give the address, and then they ask when did you start living at this address, date of when I moved in. Do you still live at this address? No. When did you move out? So do that and click continue. This is basically up to you, where have you lived and when have you moved out. So give all the details and click continue. Again, other addresses in the past 2 years. Have you lived at any other addresses in the UK or abroad in the past 2 years? If you have in the past 2 years from now when you're applying, give that. So I'm gonna click yes and give a non-UK address. Before that I was back home, so is this a UK address? No. Give all the details. When did you start living at this address? Do you still live at this address? No, because I moved to the UK and you will be as well. So click no. And when did you stop living at this address? So give the date of when you've moved to the UK. So that, and continue. They'll show you've added 2 previous addresses. Make sure the details are correct, and if you have to add another which you've lived in the past 2 years, you can add another. If not, continue. And finally, check all the answers in this step that you've already given and make sure it's all correct, and again continue, and this step will be completed. The next step is travel history. Click on that, and the first question is time in the UK. How long have you lived in the UK? From when you came to the UK till now, how many months and years have you spent in the UK? So give that in terms of years and months. Time spent outside the UK. Since you started living in the UK, have you spent time outside the UK? So if it's a 2 weeks or less holiday that you went outside the UK for, then you don't need to tell them about it. If it's more than 2 weeks, for example, you went back home for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 1 month, 2 months, you click yes and give them the details of where did you go and what did you go for. So I'm gonna click yes here. Because I clicked yes, you have to give details of your time spent outside the UK. Which country did you go to? Where did you go? So when did you leave the UK? Enter the date that you left the UK. When did you return to the UK? And what was the reason for this time spent outside the UK? If you went back home to visit your family, in the what was the reason box, you can give a reason like visiting family in home country. Just that a small sentence is fine, you don't have to explain it too much. So complete that and continue. Next is any other time spent outside the UK other than the one that you've already given. Have you spent any other time outside the UK for more than 2 weeks? If yes, again give the details of that. Here I'm gonna click no and continue. Travel to Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, Switzerland, or the EEA area. How many times have you visited the following place in the past 5 years? So if you've ever visited in the past 5 years, you need to give them the number of times. So here I'm going to click no, 0, and continue. World travel history. Have you been to any other countries in the past 5 years? Any other countries other than USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, all that which you've already answered previously. If you visited any other countries, give your details here. Here I'm going to click no again. And then medical treatment in the UK. Did you receive medical treatment in the UK? If you visited a doctor, clinic, or hospital, this counts as having medical treatment. So if you've ever been to your GP or hospitals in case of emergencies or any other problems, click yes, and you might have to give them details. Here I'm going to click no. National insurance numbers. Do you have a UK national insurance NI number? Most people will have, so I'm going to click yes. What is your NI number? Give your NI number and continue. Do you have a UK driving license? Yes or no? If you have, yes, give details. No here for me. Have you received any public funds in the UK? As a student, if you check your BRP, you're not allowed to get any public funds. So here, no. Check all the answers and continue. And these steps, criminality, family and relationships, people applying with you, I'm gonna skip all that because it's all yes or no questions, which you can do it on your own. Mostly answers will be no. If you have any questions related to that, you can comment below and I'll answer that. I'm gonna go directly into account security questions. So let's move on to account security questions, talking to us about your application. So this is basically 3 security questions. If you ever call Home Office or UKVI regarding your application, they have to verify that it's really you that they're talking to. You can select questions from these 3 sets and give answer to that question which you selected. This will be asked if you ever call them regarding your application, and they'll verify once you answer that correctly. They'll make sure that it's you who's talking to them, and they'll continue with your query. If you cannot answer these questions when you ever call them, they might not be able to continue with the call. Choose a question from the first set and give an answer, and make sure you note down these answers somewhere. If ever in the future you might need to talk to them through phone, they'll ask you these questions. Continue and check your answers again, and make sure you note it down. Continue. Moving on to the next one, declaration, the final task that you have to complete before you move on to the payment section. I confirm that I understand and accept these conditions. Okay, tick that and continue. Next step, you have 4 further steps to complete. Declaration, you will be asked to declare that all the information you provide in your application is true. After you have completed your declaration, you'll not be able to change the answers or information you provided. Okay, payment of immigration health surcharge, payment of the visa fee, evidence upload. evidence upload, it's not mandatory that you need to upload any evidence unless they ask you to. So we'll go one by one again. Declaration, basically all the information that you've already given are true. You're declaring that whatever is true to you, click on that. I'm gonna put I'm the applicant aged 18 or over. So before you click the continue in declaration, if you wanna double check all the answers that you've already given, you can do that. After this you can't do anything. Make sure if you wanna double check, do that and then continue with this. And then we move on to immigration health surcharge. This is where we pay the amount. When you've done that, you'll be returned to the visa application screen. So click go to IHS service, pay towards your healthcare in the UK, how much it is. So here it's 624, but when I was doing it, it was 624, but now they've increased it to 1035, I think. But yeah, so it'll be 1035 per year. So they gave an example here. A person making a 5-year visa application would pay that health surcharge fee per year into 5 for 5-year visa. So here I'm applying for a 2-year visa. So at that time it was 624 into 2 for me, but now they've increased it to 1035. So if it's a 2-year visa for you, it'll be 1035 into 2, 2070. If it's a 3-year, it'll be into 3. So read all that and continue. And they'll ask questions about your location. Are you applying from within the UK? Yes. Are you applying to stay in the Isle of Man? No. Save and continue, and then give your title and all the other details about your name, email, nationality, and visa route will all be pre-filled, and you just need to select if it's a 2-year route or a 3-year PhD graduate route. Here I'm going to click 2-year route. Biometric residence permit number will already be in there, and your date of birth will already be in there. Save and continue. Read through and make sure that these details are all correct, and you apply with any dependents. There'll be details of the dependent as well. In this case you don't have any dependents, and click these details are correct and continue. I agree. So this is where you pay the amount. Click pay now and you'll be taken to World Pay website, and you need to give in your card details and pay. So I'll do all that, and once you're completed, I'll say payment successful. Click continue with your application. So that's completed. You'll get an email confirmation of your payment as well on your email. So click continue with the application once you're done with that. And if you want, make note of the IHS reference number. You'll get an email as well with the reference number. The next step in the application is paying the application fee. Click on return to my visa application. You must now pay for your application. Yes, continue. Click on application payment and standard service. Click on that. I don't know if there'll be an option for a faster decision, but for now I can only see the standard service. Pay 822 GBP. That's the application fee. So basically the next working day that you've submitted your application, if you do not need to upload any evidence, and 8 weeks from then you'll get your decision. That's what they say. It can take longer as well, we never know. UK Visas and Immigration will contact you if it will take longer to process your application. They'll contact you. They say they'll contact you. Continue to World Pay, and then again complete the process with your card details, and after that it'll say payment successful and you'll get a reference number. Again, this will be sent to your email as well. And after this step, your application is submitted to UKVI, and they say you must upload the evidence required for your application by this date. To add your evidence, select continue. There'll be an option for evidence upload, but you don't need to provide any other evidence unless they email and ask for anything specific. If not, just leave it like that. Your application is submitted. Now you just need to wait for the decision letter by email. If you click on evidence upload, you'll see that based on your application answers, you do not need to provide any more evidence. So before you click on confirm and submit, if you want to withdraw it, you'll get the refund of the money that you've just paid. If you confirm and submit and after that you want to withdraw, you'll only get your IHS fee back. The application fee, you'll not get it back. So I'll confirm and submit here, and that's it. Your application is submitted, and again there'll be provide requested evidence or photos. You don't need to do anything for that, just leave it as that. So that's it. You don't need to do anything. You can just sign out and wait for your decision letter. So that's it. That's the whole application process. If this video was helpful, please give the video a like, and if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe as well. I'll be putting up related videos in the future regarding the application as well, getting the BRP, how does it work, and after you got the new BRP card, how do you return the previous old BRP card that you have. I'll be putting those videos as well in the future. And thanks for watching. If you have any doubts regarding the application, if you're stuck anywhere, just let me know down in the comments. I'll definitely answer. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in another video. Take care. Bye.